Good thing about this camera.
The more we talk here, the more I'm like, who knows if this episode's ever gonna come out.
I know, honestly. God. Just can't stop. We need a direction.
Well, and I would say we sort of started with a direction, but we took the wrong direction. We shouldn't have tried to go the TikTok route.
Right. We had the sleep thing. Oh my God. All right. It's been an hour.
Literally just a podcast where we're talking about sleeping.
Yeah, honestly. Here's my idea was let's brainstorm new podcast. 2 Ps, but all of this has just been training to get to what our actual thing is going to be, in my opinion. We kind of just talk.
Here's the thing is I am not willing to put in the work to research something.
That's fine.
About.
That's fine. I'm thinking of...
You're also not.
I'm also not.
You're like, I'm researching
I was.
And you like watched it TikTok.
No, okay. No, I have a bunch of tabs open my computer.
I did some research.
I have a bunch of tabs open my computer, but as soon as you walked in, you just stayed in my room the whole time and we just started talking.
We've been hanging.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do research either. I'm not smart and I don't like research. And learning is gay. But
okay, here's my idea.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't say mine. You go.
We taste food.
No. I'm not eating into a microphone. I refuse.
We eat vegan food.
This was the podcast you tried.
Well, this was, I just made videos. But then the pandemic hit and I stopped doing them. I would just get high and eat vegan food. And guess what? I liked it all.
You know what? People did like that video.
People did like it.
We should do that. High and vegan.
Yeah, high and vegan.
Let's make 2 Ps the network. We don't have, I mean, that's the name of it, but we do different stuff.
2 Ps goes with high and vegan.
That is true, but because my idea was I wanted to talk to people about stuff that they hate.
Yes, but then it's just, when you just talk about things you hate, it's just like...
You get worked up.
Negative the whole time.
Right. But yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's kind of what everything is. All the time it gets negative.
But that's like a 1 P show.
A 1 P show.
It's just you being mad into the microphone.
Well, no, I would want other people or you and have guests that have something that they are irrationally upset about, and then I can be on their side.
So this is like it's like the I Don't Think So, Honey.
What's that?
It was a podcast. I don't remember what the actual podcast was called, but they would do episodes or segments where it was called I Don't Think So, Honey, and they'd be like, I don't think so, honey. People who stand on escalators. I know that's something you hate, so.
Yeah.
And then you would go off on your little tangent about why you hate that. And then they would be like, I don't think so, honey.
Okay, yeah. Expanded upon that tenfold, yeah. Every idea is done. Every idea is already done. So
yeah, but I don't like being it's something you hate.
Okay, what about something you don't hate?
How about something you like?
Yeah. That other people
that you're
don't
defending.
Like. Yeah. Something you like that other people hate.
Yeah.
Or defending something you like. But it has to be obscure. It can't be like... You can't, like, defend... America.
Right. No, I feel like it has to be something on, like, a localized scale. It has to be something that you deal with personally.
Do you have something, if you take
that
a minute
I like,
to think? What's something that you, like, kind of believe that that maybe people think you're weird about it?
I like ventriloquism.
Whoa, okay.
I think if you're really good at it, it's fun to watch. It's like watching a 2-man improv team.
This is what our podcast needs to be. Dude, I remember back in the day, we used to defend Jeff Dunham.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know his political stance, so I'm like not gonna go so far as to say he's a good guy, but he is really good at ventriloquism.
He's so good at it. And it's like, yeah, back in the day when I was 18, I was like, this is actually pretty fucking funny.
Dude.
Ahmed the
And I stand.
I mean, looking back, you're like, all right.
I stand though. He had that old man puppet, Walter.
Yeah.
Looks like Joe Biden. It's crazy. That's what I think of when I see Joe Biden. I'm like, that's that puppet.
Yeah.
And we used to watch.
So
I mean, to
funny.
be honest, we watched Comedy Central a lot as kids, so we saw. I mean, be realistic. We've seen like a bunch of Cat Williams, and we've seen Jeff Dunham for like hours at a time.
Yeah. That's so funny. Ventriloquism is a good one. Yeah, honestly, my favorite is the lady who has the thing that you wear it.
Oh, yeah, and then it moves
And then
your mouth.
she controls your mouth, but then it decides what you're saying. Dude, that shit cracks me up. Yeah, that does look like Joe.
If his hair was white,
that looks
like Joe Biden.
Yeah, except he also looks like he voted for Trump. So he's kind of like the perfect old
Biden
man.
secretly did.
Yeah. He didn't know where the hell he was. That's funny. Yeah, I think it's impressive. Any skill.
I feel
Especially
like that's
in
what people
comedy.
don't get is that literally anything, if you are really good at it, is impressive to see. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Anything that you are like really good at.
Right.
Is
And it's
impressive.
like, you can be so good at ventriloquism. Doesn't mean you're the most clever guy in the world.
Yeah.
But you're that good at it. So, yeah, maybe hire some writers.
But also, it's way easier to write a situation between two people than it is to write a singular stand-up.
Yeah, set him up, knock him down.
Yeah.
It's the perfect...
It's somebody arguing with you. You're being the heel to somebody being like, this idiot.
It's the perfect...
And then that person's a puppet. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm toasted. I love it.
It's a puppet calling a man an idiot.
Yeah, making fun of his car.
Yeah,
That was like, they'd always make fun of him because he had a Prius. Yeah, all right, coming from a guy who drives a Prius. And they're like, yeah! Yeah. Wish I had a talent.
So funny. At the Improv, there's like 3 big pictures of Jeff Dunham.
Is there?
I think there is.
That's funny.
I know. I do wish, and that's like a talent that's like, that's what also is kind of hard about comedy is like, I think comedy is the umbrella for a lot of talents. Like ventriloquism, and I mean, sometimes if you play guitar, but you're not like in a band, or you don't write like ballads, but you're like, you know, can write a quirky little fun song, and if you could shove a bunch of shit in your mouth, you go on stage and can do it for a bunch of people. But yeah, ventriloquism.
Well, and honestly, if it's entertaining, you know, obviously comedy's supposed to be funny, but if it's like entertaining and fun to watch, I don't know why that doesn't. Sometimes stand-ups, I feel like, you know, they'll call themselves like a purist. Like, I just love pure stand-up.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what does that mean? It's like, even fucking, this is the one-liner guy. Even Mitch Hedberg, like, fucking sat there up on the stool with, like, these sunglasses, you know, being like a character.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe that was him, maybe it wasn't, but it wasn't like you know, you don't just hang out with people like that all the time. So it's like, to say that there's no character in there is like, it's like when people are really likable and you're like, yeah, their material's just okay, but man, do people love looking at him and listening to him talk. And so it's like, who's to say that that's not just as good? I
mean, whatever Matt Rife does is fucking crazy. It's so bad. It's like, what's his talent? Just having a thick jaw. I think that ventriloquism gets undercut because it's sort of like the same way improv. Like, people just, like, bash improv because it can be bad. It's like, yeah, it can be, unless you're good at it. That's what stand-up is, too. There's just way more people who are, like, believe stand-up is subjective.
You know
So
what's
they're
funny
like,
about
it doesn't have to be, like, it doesn't have to be funny for everybody. And it's like, well, why not? Why shouldn't it be funny
Right.
for everybody? That's what makes it good.
Yeah.
That's why everyone can watch a ventriloquist and appreciate the skill and practice and ability of it.
Well, everyone got a different sense of humor. That's what's hard. You could have a lot of stuff in common with somebody, but like they got a really dark sense of humor.
Yeah, that's true.
Or some people are like, I like comedy that makes me think, and I'm like, I hate comedy that makes me think. I hate going, oh, I never want that to be my reaction to a joke. But it's funny. Something funny with Matt Rife, I feel like, is that, you know, he blew up so big for an audience that was mostly women, and then he puts out a special and he's like, I'm not just for the women. And it's like, bro, yeah, you are.
He's like, I'm not just for ladies. Watch this. You ever seen a dumb bitch at a restaurant who can't find her purse? And she's like, where's my purse? That's like literally his,
yes.
Where is it?
And so that's what I feel like is like, that I feel like irritates me, because it's like, no, you didn't blow up doing that. You blew up doing crowd work for this audience that likes looking at you.
Yeah, you just fucked a bunch of audience members and they're like, we love this guy. You know that's what it is, because people would go to his shows being like, we're going to try to fuck Matt Rife.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people definitely do that. So, yeah, that irritates me when they're like, that's not the only people who like me. And it's like,
who cares?
It's most of them. So why are you trying to be like, fuck you guys? Fuck you guys who have made me millions of dollars. I want the boys to like me. It's just like, get over it.
That's why Shane Gillis is really he's in a perfect spot of like, everyone kind of, his comedy is really funny and smart, but then I think there's like a bunch of bros who think he's like dumb bro comedy. Like, you can listen to it and be like, yeah, retards. He said retard.
Yeah.
But it's like actually way deeper
Okay,
than that.
and so interesting. You go to a Matt Rife show, almost all women in the audience. I hosted for Shane Gillis at Comedy Works, the most men I've ever seen at shows.
Yeah, 100%.
And that was what was crazy, is I was like, there's maybe 3 women out there at one of the shows.
Yeah.
And I even said that, and he was like, well, I'm not like trying to only have male audience. And I was like, I think that means your audience don't got girlfriends. Like, your audience alone.
They're all just hanging out. They're all just like, hey, this guy's like us.
But it's like, that's part of comedy too, is like, you're just authentic. That's why sometimes, dude, you're out there and you're like, yeah, this isn't working right now, but I just have to commit to this bit. I'm fucking 60% of the way through it. I'm about to start screaming. These people are not on board, but I just have to commit, because to me, this is what I think is funny.
Yeah.
This is my sense of humor, and hopefully somebody likes it. But that's like what you have to commit to.
I think part of what I'm doing right now is that people respect my rage, and they don't necessarily think it's that funny, but they're like, this guy really cares about escalators. They're like, it is fun to watch.
Honestly, sometimes I see people who get really upset about small things, like people standing on escalators or semi-trucks or whatever else you're mad about.
I have other bits besides escalators. It's just the newest one.
But he's mad about all of them, and sometimes I'm like envious of that, because I'm like, small things like this just don't bother me. And if they did, I'd have way more stuff to talk about.
I mean, it doesn't bother me on a level of like bringing a gun to a escalator convention, but
no, but it's just just some stuff that I'm like, in my head, I'll be like, oh, that's annoying. Never think about it again. Whereas some people are like right when, you know, I see a ton of comics do it, club comics especially, but they talk about like all the fucking questions you got to answer at the checkout or at the gas station or whatever the fuck. And it's like, dude, I see it work pretty universally. Like, everybody deals with that, and people are like, oh, ha, ha, ha.
I think the biggest problem with ventriloquism is that it's scary. It's also kind of scary. The puppets are scary. There's plenty of scary movies where it's like a ventriloquist dummy is like alive.
Yeah, to be honest, scary dolls and clowns and stuff just don't really scare me. And I think clowns are ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you're a birthday clown, I think you're a pedophile, just off the bat. Like, I don't know if you are or you aren't, but that's the vibe I get. I don't want to talk to you. Man or woman, I don't care. But, so, stuff like that, I feel like more so is just, like, weird to me, so I don't see.
Yeah,
Obviously there's, like, sure, The Conjuring or whatever is scary, but it's, like, actually looking at the doll, I don't feel like it's scary.
There's a old movie with, like, Anthony Hopkins where his doll kills a guy or something. He's, like, a ventriloquist.
Oh, really?
He's younger, but it's like he does it. He starts going crazy and hallucinating that the dummy is talking back to him, and the dummy kills this guy. But then it's like he actually killed him and killed like a couple people. It's just like it is frightening, the psyche of. I mean, you had a porcelain doll in your room that I wouldn't go into your room.
Yeah.
Because it had red hair, and I was like, any doll with red hair is a murderer.
It looked just like me, and my soul is still in it.
Yeah, you're trapped in there.
You look over, I'm just a doll now.
Also,
but honestly, you were afraid of Chucky when you were a kid,
yeah,
and
until I was 18.
And to me, Chucky is just like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's like
stupid.
For that to be the scary thing, I was like, I've never been.
You know what?
That's not what gets me.
It's because my imagination, was so much scarier. What I could conceive was so much scarier than the actual movies Chucky. I just had never seen him. I had been described Chucky.
Yeah.
And then saw a doll in a Halloween store.
Yeah, Spencer.
And so I could
have it.
Well, I think one time we were because one time I remember I have this memory being in the mall. We were in a Halloween store. I don't think it was Spencer's because I think it was like a full blown Halloween store. It was like all Halloween, and there was this whole rack of these dolls. And I remember being like, "Dad," I remember asking Dad, "What is this? Like, what is this?" He's like, it's like a movie." And then later, like. However, it probably just a few weeks later, I'm at a birthday party, and everyone's describing the thing Chucky does: hides a knife in his arm, can't be killed, is burned alive and still attacks, climbs up a chimney, hides under a car, and I'm like, oh my god, that thing that I was touching in that store, like it was like all of it was too much, and I was so fucking scared about it. And then when I was 18, I finally watched it. Because you had a friend over. Yeah. And I was like, I can't let him know I'm afraid. These two 16-year-old. I can't let him know I'm afraid of Chucky. So we watch it. And I remember at the end, I was like, I can't believe I've wasted my whole life up to this point being afraid of Chucky. Honestly, it was unbelievable and how bad it was. I mean, when I was 8, the thought of getting beaten to death with a wooden meter stick seemed super plausible. And then when I was 18, I was like, that thing would snap in 100 pieces before you could kill someone with it. Just whacking them. But also, I don't like when people are dummies as Halloween. And they just draw a line here and put little fake freckles on. Yeah. Gross. That's like barely a step above baby for me.
Yeah, I don't like baby stuff.
Baby is the worst. If someone's a baby for Halloween, I think they should go to jail. I think every Halloween they should have to sit in jail for the whole night. I'm actually
going to put you right next to clowns, and you're a pedophile.
Yeah, definitely. It's usually, dude, if a guy does it, no, that is a pedophile. That guy needs to be killed on sight. But no sexy babies, no sexy ventriloquist dummies.
Wow, I've never seen somebody be a sexy baby. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I mean, what are you wearing a diaper? What you wearing?
Is that what they're doing? I mean, dude, once you put the diaper on, you can't be like, man, look at those legs.
It's been so.
Look at those legs coming out of that full diaper.
I feel like when I was in college, I saw girls be like a baby and have like a bonnet and like a pacifier.
And then just like these big yammers coming out.
This has to be rooted in something. I can't just be sitting here hating a costume that I've never seen exist. There were people who dressed as babies. Or they like, maybe they don't. Yeah, they'll have like, they'll do pigtails, fake little freckles, a pacifier, maybe like a bib, and that's it.
That's crazy.
Or just like little kids.
I hate anything that tries to sexualize young. Even, back in the... I mean, everyone did it back in the day, but think about, like, Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time. She's dressed as, like, a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
It's like, that was, like...
Well, she was in school.
Yeah, well, we were also sexualizing a 16-year-old who was dressed like a young Catholic school student.
Because all Catholics are...
pedophiles.
You heard it here, folks. If you're Catholic, you're likely a pedophile.
And if there's one thing in this podcast I've said today that I can stand on, it's that.
Everyone is a damn
Fight
pedophile. Me. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, what could you do as a ventriloquist if it wasn't comedy adjacent? You couldn't be like a great dramatic actor who also is good at ventriloquism. You could be like in the puppet plays on Broadway. Yeah. Avenue Q.
You don't technically have to be doing ventriloquism when you do that, but it'd be cool if you did.
Yeah. It's called voice acting. People just behind the scenes ventriloquism. Yeah, a one man show, sure. But I can't see.
You remember that show on Teen Nick that was like Cousin Skeeter?
Yeah.
Okay, so think about that show, but now that main guy
He's also
doing both parts.
He honestly could have been. I don't know.
He
wasn't.
No, he wasn't, but
I think the guy in that show died.
No, the famous Jet Jackson died.
Oh. Not the same guy?
No, the famous Jet Jackson.
Do you remember Cousin Skeeter and SpongeBob SquarePants started on the same night?
Really?
I think so. Or they both premiered at the same time.
Wow, look, his name is Robert Richard with an apostrophe in the Richard.
Richard. Cousin Skeeter. Because Skeeter was also the name of the friend in Doug, I think. Go to that real quick. Only 3 seasons. That guy died.
This guy died?
Okay, but see
He was the father in That's So Raven as well.
No,
he's alive.
Oh, that's the dad.
Watch.
Wait, but was the guy the voice of both characters? Why didn't it say Cousin Skeeter?
This guy died.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Also only 3 seasons.
Same year. I don't remember the famous Jet Jackson.
I think that was Disney.
Look up who is the voice of Cousin Skeeter.
Bill Bellamy.
We should watch an episode of that. I wonder where that is.
Megan Good's in it.
I don't know who that is either.
She's like a famous actress. To be honest, I feel like maybe years ago she was like supporting Trump or something. And so she was like back in the news.
Oh, I kind of remember that.
But it could have not been her, but I feel like it maybe was.
The famous Jet Jackson. Ooh. That guy is dead.
He was the one. He was like a Hannah Montana, where it was like his. I mean, I don't think he had a secret identity, but it was like his life. But then he was also like on TV shows, and that's what the TV show was, or something. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. But I think he committed suicide. Actually, he was on another show.
I would love to see like a dramatic one-man show where he does multiple voices. He has puppets. I love the Muppets. The Muppet movies.
Yeah. Treasure Island.
I'm down with
Lee Thompson Young. That's Jet Jackson's name.
Okay. I'm down with puppets.
Wow, he was only 29 when he died. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for puppets. The thing is, when you're doing puppets, though, you don't have to do ventriloquism. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
would have been good had cousin Skeeter been both cousins, and he was like doing it himself.
The guy's just moving the puppet to be like,
Yeah.
it's actually cousin Skeeter was a ventriloquist. The puppet was the puppet master. See, that's what that would be a groundbreaking. Like, let's get Nanette, except she's got puppets. Except she's a ventriloquist.
Okay.
Let me out of here. That's
So
her
I
in the
mean,
closet.
maybe.
Let me out.
Oh, look. So they have the guy who is the voice, Bill Bellamy, and then this other guy actually moved.
Who's the puppet?
He's a puppeteer.
Puppeteer would be cool. Yeah, I think, Jeff Dunham hate was because his material is corny. And it is, but he is a really good ventriloquist.
And that's the thing is, I just feel like there needs to be some leniency.
Yeah.
Between, yeah, sure, it is sort of corny, but you're giving it to the masses, like old people, young people love it, and you're doing it through this other medium. By using the puppet, it would be insane if he said those jokes by himself.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people did.
But because he's saying it through the puppet, I just feel like there needs to be leniency.
It's hack material for sure, but so are all you guys, so everyone's fucking hack. At least use a puppet. At least make it a talent. I love that one chick. Oh, I'd love to tell you about my job. People are just, the people in the mask are just fucking cracking up, they can't even breathe.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, I stick my arm out like this, and they gotta be like, oh, well,
it's like that guy there's a guy, he is big online who does the auto-tune.
Nick was just talking about this.
Dude, his name's like Morgan J, I think.
And he like goes in the audience.
He goes in the audience and he asks regular questions. Or he'll ask like, you know, if someone's together, he'll be like, oh yeah, are you fucking tonight? But he's singing it. So he's like, are you fucking tonight?
Yeah.
And then the people get the mic. They're also auto-tuned through the mic. And so it's somebody who would like not on tune or anything is like, yeah. And
we're
so it's
just
like,
friends.
Yeah, something like that. And so it's like, yeah, he is just saying regular stuff, but I feel like the auto-tune just makes it more fun.
There's a guy at Mardi Gras who had a backpack with auto-tune. He like built an auto-tune rig. And he would just carry it around, and he just had like a megaphone, and he would just say everything in auto-tune.
Yeah.
It was the fucking funniest thing I had ever seen in my life. I followed him around for days, being like, this is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, I know a guy who was using auto-tune stuff when he was doing stand-up, but he wasn't doing crowd work like that and using the auto-tune on them.
Yeah.
So it's like, it does make it better. I like it that way.
Yeah, change it up. Time to change it up, folks. Somebody get good at ventriloquism and be a good joke writer.
Where do you get a puppet?
I bet they're so expensive.
Can you say stuff without moving your mouth? Try to say something.
No.
I'm a ventriloquist.
I'm trapped inside of a mouth.
Who, me? I'm a ventriloquist.
How the fuck do they do it?
It's hard. And then when people are,
I don't know how they do it, Jack.
When people
it's
are really
tough.
good at stuff.
Is this doing it?
No.
What? It's not moving. I'm gonna watch the tape. Look at the tape. Look at the tape.
You're like, I'm not moving my mouth. I'm drinking water.
The ventriloquist.
But then when you're really good at something and people see it, you make it look easy. That's why you go to a comedy show. Go to a local comedy show and you're like, damn, everybody was so good. I want to try comedy. And it's like...
No, you need to get a puppet so people are intimidated. You gotta do something that they're like, I could never do that.
You don't understand candy.
You could
Your
never-
life will fall apart.
You could never do this. You'll never accomplish the things that I've done.
So yeah, that's my thing.
Hey, that was a great thing. See, we found it. All we had to do was think once.
I'll tell you what, I'm exhausted, and I don't want to do it again.
All we had to do was think of an idea for 1 minute, and we came to a great topic. All right, we can wrap up now.
Well, luckily there are a few things I like that I'm embarrassed to say in front of other people.
There are a few?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have a few more episodes before we gotta bring in some guests. We'll reach out to our listeners, see what they like.
What's up, Peas? Get in the bag. Tell me what you hate. No, tell me what you like.
Tell us what you like, but something that you're kind of ashamed that you like.
Right now. What the heck? Say something. Say something!
Yeah, text us. That's what I think I'm gonna do with social media. I think I'm just gonna put my phone number on.
Just text me.
I'll be like, hey, if you're trying to book and or bang, just give me a text. That's what
you want to know when my next show is? You got to send me a text so that I can just text you.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, this Friday. I don't have a show.
And I'm not using a service. I'm just texting from my phone.
No, it's just my phone. Honestly, I'm sick of not getting any texts. Sometimes I sit there for hours and my phone lights up. I'm like, somebody's thinking of me, and it's Duolingo. Like, where are you?
Don't forget.
Where the fuck have you been?
Hoot, hoot. Don't forget about us, bitch.
Hoot, there it is. Hoot, there it is.
Hoot, let's speak Japanese.
Don't you want some mizu? That's water.
Aren't you doing Japanese? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mizu
is water.
Is water. Mizu, ocha. That's green tea. I kind of hate the way it works, and I'm like, also I'm doing all this, I'm like, there's no way I'll ever be able to read or write Japanese. That's completely out the window. But yeah, the first lesson, I mean, I did 40 lessons on green tea and water, and kudasai is please. So it's like, They're
like, now you can visit your grandma in Japan.
Mizu to gohan kudasai is like, water and rice, please.
Whoa. It's hard because, I mean, I speak super slow.
Yeah. Mizu kudasai. I do like to try to say it like I hear it in the animes. Sometimes I do like a character's voice when I do Mizu. It's like someone from the anime. All right. Well, I didn't think of anything, so we can wrap up with the one thing. We need to make this last as many episodes as we can before we gotta find a new direction. Well, Peas, might have a couple clips from this one. Mostly Georgia saying, I'm gonna clip it so Georgia's saying, I love Jeff Dunham.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Leave Jeff Dunham alone. Leave him alone. He's talented at the one thing and he's not at the other as much, but he is talented at one.
You only need to be really good at one and mediocre at the other.
And listen, in 2003, it wasn't that racist to have a dead terrorist as a puppet. Sorry.
That one was bad. It
was in the height of the...
But think about what else he had.
Well, that was the funniest one.
I can't think.
Was the dead terrorist.
Because his tagline was like, I kill you.
Silence. Yeah, when everyone laughs. Right. Silence. I kill you. Yeah, actually, I think his story was that he didn't, his bomb went off, like, premature. He, like, blew his load too early. That was the big joke.
Okay,
Came early.
I'll ask you this last question about Jeff Dunham. So I'm looking at his puppets right now. Yes, he had Ahmed, the dead terrorist.
And the pepper.
He had the jalapeno.
Yeah.
But he also had this guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, the dumb guy.
So because he had this guy, does that make the other two okay?
Yeah, he really was a no holds bars. Take everyone down.
And then he had this guy. Remember this guy?
Yeah, that was the most annoying one. What was that one's name?
Peanut.
I also, okay, I will say the Jeff Dunham hate.
Look at them both at an award show. And honestly,
it kind of sucks that he just had to, it's like he had to have those in his life the whole time. At that point. Because it's like you can't have, the jalapeno one is weird.
He had still not canceled. This is like a recent tour.
Let's go. Controlled chaos. You know what? That's the other thing here's the other thing I didn't like about him. I mean, when you see him do he's like, your next puppet coming to the stage. I'm like, all right, you seem kind of like you're lost in the sauce now. Everyone say hello to Peanut. And everyone's like, we love Peanut! Oh, people are fucking falling out of their chairs, like fucking screaming at everything. You're like, you know him. You love him. It's Peanut. That has to be, honestly, you have to be pretty mentally resilient to be Jeff Dunham, I imagine.
I feel like you have to commit to it though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what people are there to see.
I just mean, they're there to see the puppets, which is why you have to be mentally strong as Jeff Dunham to be like, I'm not actually a famous guy. They love the puppets, and without them, who am I? That's the scariest part about a puppet.
Yeah, but they could never do it on their own.
It's true. Yeah. I want to see a biopic where Peanut's like, Jeff's a hack, and he's like, all of a sudden it's like, Jeff is too liberal. He's too middle of the road. He hasn't taken a side. Make America great again. Make it great again. No. He's all fucking hopped up. The biopic, Life After Jeff, and it's all the puppets and what they did when Jeff stopped doing stand up.
He can never stop.
That should be his next project.
I'll give him a call.
Hey, I'm just saying, he's good at that, and he's not funny. I'll give you an idea right now, Jeff. That's a good one.
All in context.
Biopic. All right, P Freaks. Well, welcome to the new podcast.
Some of this is still usable.
That was perfect. That's what I wanted. The ventriloquist talk.